Hold on.
I'm coming, Faye.
Welcome to Garden of the Spirit, a class studying apples from the orchard for the second time, beginning after Pesach 2014. This class meets in Long Meadow, Massachusetts, center of the universe, and is held in memory of Malka Ruth Bas Moshe Margaret Vogel of blessed memory. Apples from the Orchard contains selections of teachings of Kabbalah from the Arizal, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, based on the weekly Torah portion, superbly translated and explained by Rabbi Moshe Wisniewski. Today we are at page 560.
At the bottom.
What? Yes.
The bottom.
Oh no. Goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move this to the bottom.
Where are you going?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here we are. I'm going to go back and review because this it's been last class was 3 weeks ago, and we did 2 weeks in this chapter, and this is the third week. And this week we'll finish. Well, we'll finish it here. I don't think there's anything in the back.
Yeah.
I didn't look.
I'm looking this second. Yeah, there is in the back.
Yeah, Shmini, Shmini 1 can the back.
Okay, so this is right. This is the end of the way it is here. We'll have more in the back.
What page are we? What page are we on? First of all,
560.
560. Hold on, please.
So I'm going to begin. We have to review what we did before.
Okay.
And that's in the notes 25. There are 5. We're talking about kosher animals. Animals are kosher, animals are not kosher. Where animals come from, we did where birds come from and fish. But this time, hello, Abigail, welcome. This time, we're only going to focus on the animals. There are 5 states of chesed and 5 states of gvura. The higher 3 states of gvura are sweetened by the 3 lower states of chesed. They all drop. And the higher 3 states of gvura get sweetened by the lower 3 states of chesed. When a state of chesed sweetens a state of gvura, the 2 names havaya join. Name of havaya is 26, and joins, and it forms 26. Or I'm sorry, and you have a pair, which gives us 52. All of these names havaya have a value of 52. I think it means all the names of pairs of havaya have a value of 52, 26 and 26. The states of chesed then leave the states of gvura and ascend. This leaves 3 sweetened states of gvura, or 3 names, now for a total of 52.
Amen.
The states of chesed leave the states of gvura and ascend. They leave a mark and residue. That means that the states of gvura remain sweetened. They don't revert to severity. 28. There are 3 names havaya of 52 with the 3 states of sweetened gvura. In Hebrew, 52 is ben, beis nun, or nun beis, which means a son. The three states of sweetened gvura now are three banim, three sons. Only the three, as we said, only the three higher states of gvura were sweetened. Netzach and Hod, the two lowest, were not. They are alike and they join each other. In some places, we find them referred to as sons. When they join, they now form a fourth name Havaya of 52. We now have the four sons that we mentioned in the Haggadah.
Mhm.
These last two states of Gvura get sweetened as the states of Chesed return and ascend. Thus, the three higher states of Gvura are sweetened when the states of Chesed descend into Yesod, and the two lower states of Gvura are sweetened when the states of Chesed leave Yesod to ascend.
Right.
That's what we did before. Today we're going to do 32 to 39, and I didn't finish notes all the way to the end. It's very hard to go back and see what we did, especially a few weeks ago, and then try to build from there. Okay, 32. Animals come from the lower two states of Gvura that were not sweetened by Chesed, but were sweetened by each other, as we said in number 29. Each of the two states has a name Havaya with a value of 26. Together, they equal 52, like we said before, which is the same as the word behema, which means animal. Since they're from the lowest states of Gvura, they are the heaviest creatures and do not fly, for example, like birds, because they are from the lowest. We said before, they're from the low of the five states of Gvura, they're from the two lowest. Therefore, they don't fly. Okay, Alan, are you ready? 560 at the bottom. We will now explain.
We will now explain these details with Hashem's help. We note that animals are heavier in their movements than all other creatures. This is because they derive from those two lower states of Gevura that were not sweetened at first. As we said, the numerical value of these two states of Gevura is 52, which is also the numerical value of Behema. For they comprise two names Havaya together, the lowest of all of them, and therefore they are heavy and do not fly. Domesticated animals, Behema, derive from the first spelling out of the 52 name, and wild animals, Chaya, derive from the second spelling out of the 52 name, as explained above. The fact that these animals are derived from the lower, least spiritual of the five states of Gevura is reflected in the fact that, in fact, then in their physical incarnation, they are also the lowest, heaviest, most corporal of creatures.
Should be that, not then.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. 33. Among animals, Behema, domesticated animals like cows, are heavier than Chaya, non-domesticated animals such as deer. This is because domesticated animals are a better match to the two lowest klipas. Why? We said in 21 and 22 above that the gematria of Behema is 52. The same as 2 Vaya. The gematria of Chaya is also the same as the expanded spelling of one of the expanded spellings. The gematria of Chaya is 23, the number of letters and tertiary spelling of the name Havaya of 52. So the connection of Behema to its source is more direct than the connection of Chaya. For Chaya, you have to go to the tertiary spelling. For Behema, you only have to go to expanded spelling, to the secondary we had a chart, I think on page 557.
Yeah.
I think it was 23 on the right, 23 letters on the right side.
Yeah.
Okay. 561 at the top, Alan.
But the domesticated animals are heavier and slower than wild animals. For the wild animals derive only from the spelling out of the 52 name, as mentioned.
Okay, like I said, it's more, the connection is more direct. The 52 is more direct from the behema that we usually translate as domesticated animals. 34. I'm wondering if behema, usually behema is the bovine family. I'm wondering if it also includes sheep and goats. Now I'm thinking of it. I always assumed it did, but I have
Buffalo,
to check it.
Buffalo,
buffalo,
Why do you say buffalo?
because they're the similar type of animal.
bison, buffalo, sure,
Mice, buffalo are still bovines.
and kosher.
And yeah,
So buffalo is actually mentioned in the Shulchan Aruch, but there is discussion whether it refers to what we know as buffalo or to another animal. I forgot
Okay.
what it says about it. You have to remember that, like, these people wrote about many different animals or plants, may have written about animals or plants. It could be that they have never seen. Like,
Okay.
I think it was olives. I was reading a whole article about olives. They're writing about what the size of an olive, because they have everything as a kazayas. They said, you know what, they probably, in Europe, they probably never seen an olive. Okay, 33. Among animals, behema, domesticated animals such as cows, are heavier than chaya, non-domesticated. Did I read this already? Yeah,
we just read that
34.
on 34.
We
Thank
just
you.
went through.
We explained in 31 that the three higher states of Gvura are sweetened when the states of Chesed descend into Yesod, while the lower two states of Gvura are sweetened when the states of Chesed ascend from Yesod. Kosher animals are from the states of Gvura after they have been sweetened.
Mhm.
After they've been sweetened. I think it says when they ascend. Okay, go ahead, Alan.
But the domestic, we
No, I'm sorry,
Now.
now.
there are pure and impure, that is kosher and non-kosher, non-kosher species of both domesticated and wild animals.
Go ahead.
Their purification is affected by their sweetening that occurs on the ascent, as mentioned. For unsweetened states of Gevura are in a state of absolute severe judgment, and the forces of evil are able to attach themselves to them. This is why animals derived from these unsweetened states of Gevura are forbidden. But if such animals possess signs of purity, it indicates that they are already rectified and derived from the lower two states of Gevura that have been sweetened.
Okay. Oh, he said that the animals I guess domesticated animals are from the lower two. Okay. And those lower two get sweetened when the states of Chesed ascend and go back up. 35. There are two signs of a kosher animal. It chews its cud and has split hooves. I think chewing cud is right. Cud means the clumps of food that are brought back up, and it chews them from the stomach. In Hebrew, Malay Geira, I don't know what the word Geira means. I guess it would be compared to a cud. There, so we're going to speak about the Torah terms for chewing cud, Malay Geira. Excuse me, and and parsa, mafrisa and parsa, the split hooves. There are two signs of a kosher animal. It chooses cud and has split hooves. The word in the Torah for cud, or that corresponds to cud, is geira, whose gematria is 208, which is 4 times 52, corresponding to the 5 states of Gvura. As we said, the 3 higher states of Gvura are sweetened by 3 states of Chesed. Each one is Havaya. And the lower 2 states of Gvura are sweetened by each other. Thus, there are 4 pairs of 52. And 52 times 4 is 208 for the word geira, chewing its cud. Okay, Alan, where are you? The signs? Alan, the signs.
The signs of purity are chewing the cud and having split hooves. The numerical value of the word for cud, era, is 4 times 52, referring to the 5 states of Gevura, as stated, which are manifest as the 4 sons alluded to in the numerical value of the word for cud. Geira is Gimel Reish Hey, 3 plus 200 plus 5, 208. And 4 times 52 is 208.
Okay, so that's the word geira, which corresponds to the word for cud. The word in the Torah that corresponds to chew, as in it chooses cud, is ma'aleh, a form of Allah, ascend. I guess it brings up the geira, brings up the cud from the stomach to the mouth. But it's a form of Allah, which means to ascend. The 2 lower states of Gvura are sweetened when the states of Chesed ascend and join the 3 higher states of Gvura that were already sweetened, thus forming the 4 sons. So the word here is ascend. The 2 lower states of Gvura are sweetened when the states of Chesed ascend. And then we said it gives us the 4 sons, the Arba Banim, which is the 4 sets of 52, as we mentioned in 28 and 30. Jim, are you ready?
Sure. Chewing, elevating the cud indicates that this 4th 52-9 ascended. That is, it alludes to how the 2 lower states of Gevura were sweetened on the ascent of the states of Chesed and can then combine with the 3 other sons, for they are now sweetened just like they are. When they all combine, they produce the numerical value of cud.
So so far we have ma'aleh geira. We have the significance of the word for ma'aleh, to chew or to bring up, and geira, the cud. The other thing, of course, is split hooves. A kosher animal must also have split hooves. The word in the Torah for hoof is parsa. The first 2 letters, pei, reish, equal 280, and the last 2 letters equal samachay. The last word samachay equal 65. 5 states of Gvura are associated with the 5 final letters of the alphabet: Mansapach, Mem, Nun, Sadi, Pei, and Chaf. 40 plus 50 plus 90 plus 80 plus 20 is 280. Again, the 5 finals of the alphabet is 280, the value, which is the value of the first 2 letters of Parsa, the Pei and the Reish. The value of the last 2 letters, 65, is the same as Hashem's name, Adni, Aleph Daled Nun Yud, which is associated with Nukva. Okay, Jim, go ahead. A kosher animal.
Kosher animal must have split hooves. The letters that spell the word for hoof, parsa, can be divided into 2. The numerical value of the first 2 letters, Hey and Reish, is 280. That of the second 2 letters, Samach and Hey, is 65. The significance
Continue.
of this, pardon?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, the significance of this is that the numerical value of the 5 states of Gevurah is 280, which is the sum of the numerical values of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet in final forms, and the numerical value of the name Adni is 65. So the 5 states of Gevurah are signified by the 5 letters of the Hebrew alphabet that have final forms, which is Mem, Nun, Tzadik, Pei, Kaf. The combined numerical value of these letters is 40 plus 50 plus 90 plus 80 plus 20. Hold on a second. What is going on?
I have a back.
Okay, Jim, can you unmute?
I have to
Okay.
leave. Goodbye.
All right. I'll send you the rest of the notes. Take care.
Yeah.
Okay. Abigail, do you want to?
Sure.
Yeah, that equals 65. Let me go on to 38. Oh, hi, Rudy. Welcome.
Hi.
How?
Brown cow.
I wonder if cows tell their children how proud they should be because they're sweetening the Gevurah for the people.
Yeah. Rudy, yeah, were you at Squires?
No.
No, okay. 38. In other words, the kosher sign of chewing cud implies the states of Gvura of Zer Anpin have been sweetened, and the kosher sign of split hooves implies that they've been transmitted to Malchus. Okay, and that's here in 562, the word for parsa. Abigail, you ready?
Yep, the word for parsa thus indicates how all 5 states of Gevurah combine together in their sweetened state and are given from the Yesod of Zeranpin to his Nukva, and that they are untouched by the forces of evil, remaining unscathed, and are given to Malchut together with no defect. The name Adni signifies Malchut or Nukva, and therefore the word parsa indicates how the 5 states of Gevurah, indicated by the numerical value 280 of Pei Resh, are transmitted to Nukva, indicated by the numerical value of 65 of Samak He. In other words, in order for the animal to be kosher, it must embody 1, the 5 sweetened states of Gevurah, indicated by chewing the cud, and 2, the successful and safe transference of these 5 states into Nukva, the feminine consciousness of expression, indicated by splitting the hoof. Lack of either sign indicates that at some point, divine beneficence has been siphoned off by the forces of evil, judgment, anger, self-orientation, etc. The following paragraph is the same idea as it appears in the parallel passage in Shar HaPesukim.
And that's 39. This is also explained in another work of the Arizal Shar Psukim. The 5 states of Gvura are sweetened in Yesod. They join together and are transmitted as one unit to Das of Nukva, and Klipa has no control over them. The fact they are sweetened in Zerampin is indicated by the fact that they chew their cud. And the fact they are transmitted to Nukva, free of Klipa, is indicated by the fact they have split hooves. Klipa free. That's the split hooves. Because of the word parsa. Okay. 563.
When the 5 states of Gevurah have all been sweetened in the Yesod of Zeranpin, they issue forth from behind this Yesod and are transmitted to the Das of Nukva, which is positioned right there. When they combine together after they have become sweetened, and they issue forth from Zer Anpin, and are transmitted to the dot of Nukva, the forces of evil can gain no control over them. Rather, they are all transferred there together as one complete unit. In this way, they all remain kosher and pure. Were this not to happen, they would not be pure, even though they had been sweetened, because the forces of evil would gain control over them. Therefore, in order to indicate this, the Torah requires a second sign of purity, i.e. kashrut, which is possessing the split hooves.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see the Hebrew stuff on top. And then it continues to say in the Hebrew, because because the first two letters of Parsa, Pei Resh, is 280, and that matches the 5 Gevuros, 5 states of Gevura, and he says specifically Mansapach. The 5 final letters are symbolize the 5 states of Gevura. The final letters Mem, Nun, Sadik, Pei, and Chaf. That's also 280, and it says they are transmitted to the female, which is associated with the Hashem's name Adni, and Adni is connected with Malchus. The gematria of Adni is 65. The last 2 letters of Parsa of the hoof are Samach 65. This is to show that the 5 states of Gvura together, they join and then transmitted to the female, to Malchus. Nothing is missing. The Chitzonim, forces of Klipa, have no control over them, and that's why you need two kosher signs. Chewing the cud means that they are sweetened in Zerampin, and the split hooves shows that they are safely transmitted to the nukva, into Malchus, without being intercepted by the klipa.
So
Okay.
they're sweetened in a 2-step process, or separately, 2 sets of.
What?
I have to go back and watch the video. I completely missed this
Or
video.
read the notes. I introduced this at the beginning of the class. I reviewed the 2-step processes that the 5 states of Gvura descend. The 5 states of only the lower 3 states of Chesed descend. The 2 upper states stay where they are. The lower 3 states of Chesed descend and sweeten the higher 3 states of Gvura.
Right.
The lower 2 states of Gvura don't get sweetened then, until the states of Chesed leave. When they leave, then the 2 states of Gvura, the last 2 states of Gvura, they sweeten each other. Netzach and Hod. They end up sweetening each other.
Do you have any, in your Torah knowledge, does this make sense? Or does it seem really detailed and random? I mean, do you see sense in this process? Does it?
It's the way it is.
With other Torah that you know, or?
No, I have no connection to anything else I've learned. It's just we have to take his word for it.
Right. I'm sure that at some point we'll learn enough that's like, oh yeah, obviously, right?
Okay. I don't think so. I am finding that in many things. Now I forgot what I was learning, something maybe Shabbos, maybe last week, and I'm like, I really get this now from all the learning that we're doing here. And 5-10 years ago, I don't think I would have just felt so comfortable learning it that I get it. This specifically, I don't know.
So my only hope of catching up with you is that Mashiach comes.
Don't catch up with me. You know what Zusha said? Zusha said he's worried he'll after 120 years and he'll go up to heaven. They'll ask him, they won't say, why weren't you like Chaim? Why weren't you like Abigail? Or even like Rudy? They'll say, why weren't you like Zusha?
Yes, but I still want to learn the Torah, even though I don't have to. Even though
we do the best. You have to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what this next paragraph is the same idea, continuing this idea. It follows.
It follows then even if animals chew their cud, they are not kosher unless it be known that nothing of them escaped to the forces of evil. This later state is indicated by their having split hooves. We have thus explained the two signs of kashrut in animals.
Okay. The next we're going to go to the chaya. And again, we have two types of animals in Judaism and halacha and Talmud and Torah, behema and chaya. Behema means animal and chaya means animal. They're both two words for animals. Generally speaking, we usually translate behema as a domesticated animal, chaya as a non-domesticated animal. Behema are animals you keep on farms, primarily bovine. I mentioned before. Right now, I'm having I don't remember if it also refers to sheep and goats. I think so. Chaya is more like wild animals. Things like, generally speaking, things like deer, things that generally are run wild. Yesterday afternoon, we saw a deer running through Glen Meadow. That's the adult community nearby, the senior community.
I saw one across my street the other day.
Yeah,
3 of them.
3. They're usually in groups.
They came out of the park.
Very nice. And onto Sumner?
They didn't cross Sumner Avenue. Last week, 2 weeks ago, some crossed Sumner Avenue.
They made it?
Yes, they didn't. No, they made it. They make it. They do it at a time when there's no traffic and they come across.
Okay. So generally speaking, that's the chaya are things like deer, and then you have, like in the Torah, you have a few different. You have the buck, different. Maybe I don't know exactly, but things might be like an impala,
Moose,
okapi, moose. I don't know.
Dogs and cats.
not a
Yeah,
moose.
I probably dogs and cats. I'm thinking of kosher, but for not moose would also be in that. If it's not kosher animals, I don't know if moose is kosher or not. Okay, so
Moose.
Is it in the deer,
actually, I was
is it in the deer family?
oh, maybe I was in Lupa Zoo in July, and I saw some things I never even heard of, related to bison or something like that. Schmeisen, I don't know.
Schmeisen.
Yeah.
Any Lupa Upas?
Lupus, what?
Lupa Upas, no?
Yeah, there were
Oompa
Lupa
Loompas.
Lupas.
Oompa
So
Loompa.
now we're going to go to these animals called chaya, what we call wild animals. So it says here, obviously, they also need 2 signs of kashrus. They have to chew their cud and have split hooves.
Right.
And they're also from the lower 2 states of the Gvura that sweeten each other and aren't sweetened by chesed. But like we said before, the value of chaya is 23, and the name of 52, there are 23 letters in the tertiary spelling, not the secondary spelling, the expanded spelling, but tertiary. So it's not as direct. And so that's a little different. Okay, Abigail, you can read the English, and I will try to skim the Hebrew, maybe get a little more info.
Regarding wild animals, they are also derived from the lower 2 states of Gevura, as mentioned, and therefore they also require the 2 signs of kashrus. But they only derive from the spelling out of the spelling out, and therefore there are other additional signs that differentiate between them and domesticated animals, as mentioned in the Talmud. I did not receive the mystical interpretation of their explanation from my master.
He says a little more on the right side. That's what it says on the left. I think that's Shar HaPsukim. The one on the right adds, therefore, even the chaya doesn't fly, because it's in that way it's like the animal, like the behema. But since that the connection is not as direct, it's done through the tertiary spelling. It is, we said at the beginning, we started off that the behema animals are like the heaviest of all the creatures. So this is lighter than, and therefore the chaya typically runs faster than a behema, than something like a rhinoceros, cow, something like a cow, even a bull. I just learned, I think, over Shabbos, there are 4 visages in the heavenly throne, the Kisei HaKavod, that are mentioned in the vision of Yechezkel, first chapter. There is the face of a shore of an ox. That is for behema. It's for the domesticated animals. That's on the right. On the left is the face of a lion, and that is for chaya, the wild animals. In the middle is Pnei Nesher, the face of an eagle. Usually we translate Nesher as eagle. On Last Few Trips to Israel, our guide explains that actually Nesher is not an eagle, it is a griffin vulture. And there's a park in the Golan with cliffs by Gamla, where the griffin vultures live. So you can't throw anything over the cliff, and you can't make noise. We did see on one of the trips, we saw 1 or 2 of them flying around. On the most recent trip, we didn't see them. What?
A vulture?
Griffin vulture,
I don't know what the difference is.
not a vulture.
Yeah.
By the way, moose are kosher
Down.
because they're part of the deer family.
Okay. What's that in plural, Alan?
Moose,
What?
Meese.
moose.
What's the plural of goose?
Meese, geese.
Geese. So if goose is geese, then moose got to be geese. I mean, moose got to be meese, right?
There are meese.
Ask Ed.
Who says I hate these Mises to pieces? Somebody says that. Somebody says that.
Ask Ed Meese.
Ed Mies. Is he still around?
I don't think so.
I think someone's 98, and he just came out with a comment on about what's going on here in the country.
What did
I
he
think it was Edwin Meese. So in any case, he says they're griffin vultures, not eagles. I have to ask him for the what's it called on that. So the Nesher, the hawk, is in the middle, and then the visage of the man is, I don't remember, underneath. The visage of the man was actually an image of Yaakov.
Oh,
By the way, the plural of moose is moose.
yeah.
Meese.
It's like fish, right?
Maybe they're wrong.
1 fish, 2 fish, 1 moose, 2 moose.
I think they're wrong. I think it's meese.
I think it's Meese.
People think it's meese, but it's not. It's technically the only correct plural of moose is moose.
What's the plural of schnitzel?
Ooh,
Schnitzel.
Very good. So there you go.
Moose is moose.
So you're right.
Ay, ay, ay.
and the singular is like a solo schnitzel. Schnitzel. I can't say the word.
Schnitzel.
Schnitzela.
Schnitzel.
One all alone, which is a sad state.
So, I'm looking for this picture. So, yeah, so over there it says, I have to remember why, if it explains why why domesticated animals shore was a ox, which is a kosher animal, but the wild animal was a lion, which is non-kosher animal. I don't remember if it said that. It did say about the bird that is non-kosher, but it said it's in the middle and it flies in the sky. elsewhere. Koheles, King Shlomo said, there are three things I didn't get, but the fourth one I got. And the first of the three that he doesn't know is the path of the Nesher in the sky. So it's there that the Nesher, even though it's not kosher, it's in the sky. It's a very special level. It represents the Rachamim, the compassion of Hashem. There was a whole explanation of that. So a little bit I got. I'm looking for the picture, I guess. Nope, not there. Here we are. This is, I guess this. Gamla. That is the cliff. In the back is a place that was similar to Masada. The Jews there committed suicide when they were surrounded by the Romans. Romans were advancing. And that is in the Golan. It's a story that's less well known. Not this. I forgot what that was. Ah, here we go. I got a picture of the griffin vulture. In the gazebo,
Oh,
in the pavilion, they have a picture of it. I think it has a 9-foot wingspan.
Big bird.
Yeah. And Griffin is spelled different than the way it is than Harry Potter.
it's the Gryffindor.
It's Griffon. Okay. So there you go. All right. Okay, so that's that. Let me shut the recording. Up there.